Hello everybody, and welcome back to the archive, where we once again return with Final Fantasy XIV. I know I missed this game last week, so I wanted to get on and play a little bit. You know, it is late, but I did want to get on and play a little, since I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. And I'll move us over to the game view before I start talking, so, you know, we're looking at something and getting a little background noise in. I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news, as I said. The good news being, we finally have, looking up a little bit, you know, less of these, well, not less. I've only got another month or so before these late streams are going to be able to die down a bit, and I'm going to be able to go back to my normal time. Fingers crossed, of course. Chaos could still happen and could still fuck me. But what the fuck is happening on the screen? What the fuck is going on? Oh, they're just calling and dismounting and showing off a bunch of different mounts. Okay. So, another month, looking around July. Hopefully, we'll be back to our normal time, at least once a week. In all likelihood, I will still be doing one late stream a week. But for the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing these late streams a little bit. Almost every single stream we'll be doing, at least for the foreseeable future. I hate to, you know, do this when, you know, not at my normal time, but, what can you do? Don't really have a choice. Gotta get, you know, gotta make that bread somehow, you know. Let me pour out some whiskey, and we'll go ahead and get started. I've got a brand new bottle today, never tried. We've got Old Forester Single Barrel today. Bought something new to try, prepping for, little hint, my birthday stream, which will be coming up here in, about a month. Maybe a month and a half. No, it's longer than that. Yeah, well, no, month and a half. In July. Hopefully by then, I've got a bunch of time saved up, so the hope is that we'll be able to actually be able to do some stuff during that month. But, you know, we'll find out. Also, I just peeked my mic. Whew, that shit's smooth and tasty. 50%? Wow, that's good. Alright, so for the plan for today, I have finally come to the conclusion that I will still be playing tank for, Stormblood. Shadowbringers. I've got more than enough time to prep for it. Mainly because, you know, at the rate in which we're playing the story mode, we're probably going to be here a while. You know, and I've decided we're going to do Gunbreaker. Because, as I was informed last stream, Dark Knight really isn't a good way to learn tank. So I decided to play the other tank I know how to actually, like, play consistently, which is Gunbreaker. So we'll be doing a couple of those jobs tonight, and then we'll be continuing on with the post-Stormblood quests. I don't know how many we'll complete, given, you know, it's fucking 12:30, and I've only got an hour and a half. But we'll figure things out, you know. We'll deal with that as things come up. It's fine. Hey, Radovon, it's been a while. The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. We built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much difference in the end. Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing our recent bit of good news? Ah, yes. It looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the gates of Thal. We'll meet you there. Okay, sure. Why does the name Oriel sound familiar? I've met a lot of people, so I guess it's not even necessarily that, it's a name we've heard before. It probably sounds similar to something that we've heard, and it just my memory is fucky-wucky from playing this game for almost a year and a half on stream, cutting out literally, like, probably taking the longest period of time to ever complete the story as physically possible. Still playing the game on a regular basis. But what can you do? I'm really hoping over the next couple months that things will improve and we don't have to, and I'll actually be able to stream more, because I miss when I streamed, you know, fucking, I miss the full-time streaming, you know? It was fun. It got me to play games that I didn't normally play, and it got me to actually, like, do my backlog. And now we can't do that anymore, and it's sad. I miss it. You're the bodyguards, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now you've got to keep him away from us. I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes. Radovan, this sounds serious. Hear her out, would you? Very well, my apologies. Please continue. His name's Garrett. He won't leave us alone, and he keeps jumping out to harass us when we're by ourselves. If we were to go outside the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us, and when he does, I want you to scare him off. I doubt he'll show himself if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him a fright he won't forget in a hurry. Yeah, that ought to work. Tim and I will leave through the gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. Alright. Well, you know, gotta find a way to end harassment somehow. And this guy seems like a piece of shit. Probably worth a little intimidation. You can't just harass people and expect to get away with it. Remember, we've got the boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son, but I will if I have to. You follow my lead. Fuck, okay. I didn't think we'd be killing him, just intimidating him. Get away from her. What? Who the bloody hells are you? Friends of Oriel, now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy. Your boy? You've got no right to call him that. He belongs to me. This is your final warning. Bother them again and you won't live to regret it. Something tells me this might not be as cut as dry as I initially expected. Haha, that'll teach him. And you were wonderful, worth every gift. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad you're being thrown off by this too. It was our pleasure. Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence lent weight to my words. But most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work. Yeah, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, you two, there's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman. Hell's bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping her. Drybone. Holy shit. We're following her quite the way away. I am trying to find a better glamour for my Gunbreaker here. I've been using the same one since I picked the class up. I spent all of my hard-earned PvP crystals on this nice outfit. Don't get me wrong, I like it. And I really like how I've matched the Ear Pro and the Eye Pro with it. Granted, oh my god, I haven't used this fucking class in long enough that I still have the fucking Gabriel Alpha fucking mount up. Hold on, let me fix this. Mount guide. if we're gonna be a Gunbreaker, we got to go around on a motorbike. It just thematically seems... It just is the best thematically. That was weird. But looked over on my maintenance screen. For some reason, my bitrate dropped by like 2,000 for a second. Didn't drop any frames, just bitrate shot down for no reason. Weird, but it's better now. Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? What are we supposed to do with a runt like this? If we feed him up, he might be worse something one day. She's selling her own child. We've got to stop them. Wait, is that... Enough of this. Stay away from my son. Son, huh? You should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. Are we just gonna stand here and watch this guy get the shit clocked out of him? Quickly, we've got to help him. You good, Radovan? Okay, yeah, I'll deal with this. Hey, assholes. Fuck off. Nope, wrong one. It's that one I wanted. Bow shot. Anybody else? No? Good. Hey fam, you good? Sorry about earlier. Kinda misread the situation. Kinda... not really my fault. I was just there. But, still. You saved us. How could I ever... I let you down. I let everyone down. But Sophie, what happened here? I knew from the moment I met Oriel that there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't later until I realized she's a somnus addict. Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to keep her addiction hidden from most, but not from me, and probably not from her family either. Yes, I've known for a while, but I have no idea she'd choose something like this. Gods, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. My debts spiraled beyond my control, and she ran to get away from me, to start a new life with our son. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore. So I vowed to turn my life around, and I worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. She'd made new friends. The wrong sort of friends. And had to resort to God's only know what to make ends meet. Became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. So you see, it wasn't only my life I'd ruined. I made her who she is today. That's why I don't have it in me to hate her. What will you do now? I plan to send her to Frondale's Frontistry. They can treat people like Oriel, though it costs more than most folks can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while at least. We'll take it one day at a time and see how she responds to the treatment. I know she might never recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously, she's in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there will be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. You know, skip more dialogue. Fuck. That poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, only succeeded in disgracing myself. Again. It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe her an explanation, though. Yes. If we are to fight side by side, there is something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a magic collar. Oh shit. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electric shock anytime they pleased. And please them it did. The paralysis would eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up. It's as though the pain never left me, and could reawaken at any moment. Thankfully, my condition appears to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I will be free of it, but until then, there's no telling when it might strike. Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin, ever since the first time we met in the Garlean jail. I was awaiting execution along with other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgent and undesirables. Among them were several somnus addicts. Even in Imperial jail, there were ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Oriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but she had that same look in her eyes as those lost souls. Anyway, where was I? So Radovan had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned, and was secretly digging a tunnel a few ilms each night over the course of about 10 years. Oh my god. The only thing was, it went the wrong way. Then one night he suddenly burst through my wall. Why did you have to tell her that? You know I'm far from proud for my miscalculation. Oh, I clicked off screen. Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when you came crashing in, it drew the attention of the wardens and all hells broke loose. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guard, and by some miracle we managed to avoid their searchlights. And finally we were free. Free to return to my wife and child. To my homeland, or so I thought. While I'd been rotting away in a Garlean cell, everything I knew, everything I loved had been taken from me. I should have been there, but I couldn't even. Gah, enough of this. We've spoken over long as it is. Well then, where to next? I think I've had my fill of Ul'dah. What say we try our luck in Limsa? I'm sure a change of scenery would do us a world of good. Yes. I like the sound of that. Let's reconvene at the local Adventurers Guild. We'll do these until we run out of them, and then we'll do some MSQ. I really wish I had more time, but I don't. So we just gotta have to deal with what we get. God, we're 20 minutes in already. Oh, well. I really hate only being able to stream for 2.5 hours. Or 1.5 hours. It's wonderful. I should really stop bitching. It doesn't do me any good. Alright. Up the stairs. Into the Adventurers Guild. This way. city founded by pirates. Now there's a terrible idea if I've ever heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left. But what about the views? The sea breeze? There will be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we've a few more gil in our pockets. We're still waiting for the word from the guild, so perhaps you should find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime. You'll be pleased to hear that the Yellow Jackets have offered us an assignment. After taking on more than we'd bargained for with our previous clients, we're hoping this one will turn out to be relatively straightforward. We haven't heard what it entails yet, but I bet it'll be something important. A man called Futag Yafutag has arranged to meet us in Bulwark Hall. Let's go and see what he wants. Sure, I guess. Bulwark Hall, let's see. Is that beneath the... Yeah, that's in the other map. I have to go back down the stairs. It's still crazy to think about that. I started this game a year and almost a year and a half ago now. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. We want you to protect Goldwhites, who was until recently leader of the Flaming Mongrels. They were once a gang of raiders, but eventually settled in Limsum Laminsa to extort and rob their way to a position of considerable influence in the criminal underworld. That all ended when Goldwhites turned himself in. No one saw it coming, not even the other Flaming Mongrels. He's due to give testimony in exchange for a reduced sentence, and not just about the crimes he committed himself either. All of the gangs he's had dealings with will have ample reason to silence him before he spills his secrets. He's currently being held in Morabi dry docks. Your job is to see that he reaches Limsa in one piece. So you want us to act as bodyguards to a... Or, this isn't Radhavan. So you want us to act as bodyguards to a criminal? I don't like the sound of that. We'd be protecting the information that's in his head, which could be used to bring countless other lawbreakers to justice. It sounds like a worthwhile cause to me. It is, and before you ask why we're hiring outsiders, it's to avoid attention. If I pull too many Yellow Jackets from their posts, the gangs will figure out what's going on. Better to give the impression that it's business as usual while using professionals like you to escort him in secret. We still need to secure the routes, so I'll go on ahead and see to the preparations. Come and find me at the dry docks when you're ready. Now this is more a job of my style. Before we begin, we should find out more about the Goldwhites. While it's important to place our trust in the client, I don't want to repeat the mistake we made last time. Yeah, so long as our questioning doesn't take up too much time and make us late. If the rumors are true, the Flaming Mongrels are involved in most of the money lending and extortion that goes on in this city. Goldwhites was at the center of this web, overseeing every aspect of these clandestine activities. Now that he has finally found the decency to give himself up, I imagine that his former associates would rather he kept it quiet concerning their dealings. Oh yes, everybody has heard of the Flaming Mongrels. Their modus operandi is to offer loans, increase the interest to the extent that their mark has no hope of ever paying it back, and then forcing that poor soul to obey their every whim. Yeah, great. Fucking loan sharks. I am not at liberty to discuss an ongoing investigation. I can say, however, that many Yellow Jackets believe heartless curs like Goldwhites deserve nothing less than death. He and his rogues have left only tragedy and despair in their wake. Mercy would be a waste. Well, whatever. Not really our place to make that decision. We're just here to escort the guy. Not really our position to do anything else. Did you hear anything useful? Yes, it's just as Futag said. Goldwhite certainly has a lot of enemies on both sides of the law. Radovan, it's not too late to refuse. Think about what you're doing. Trust me, I have. Now, let's say no more on the matter. We have a job to do. Honestly, this seems like a really reasonable kind of job. I mean, regardless of whether or not the guy we're escorting is a total piece of shit criminal, like, the information in his head would be more than worth the dealing with this asshole for a little bit. Besides, let's be honest, this is Limsa. Chances are the reduced sentence is simply life rotting in a cell, or rather than execution. Not really that much of an upgrade. Still weird that he'd turn himself in. All set? Good. Then it's time to bring out the prisoner. I present Goldwhite, Scourge of Limsa. Wow, he's right there. His life's in your hands now. Guard him well. Thank ye kindly. Are you sure you've got the right man? Quite sure. Now listen carefully, this is important. We scouted the road ahead, and we spotted a group of unsavory figures lying in wait. The plan is to put them down and rush past before anyone realizes what's happened. Well, if that's how you'd prefer us to handle it, then very well. But we'll need someone to take the lead and cut through their ambush. I choose you for that role. Show me how far you've come as a gunbreaker. The rest of us will stay close to Goldwhite's and fend off any that try to flank us. Futag, I give you my word that we'll get him to Limsa even if I have to carry him there. We're depending on you. Once you've cleared a path, we'll be right behind you. We'll regroup at Oskun's Embrace and assess the situation before moving on. Something seems weird. This whole situation is a little fishy. And every job before this has gone not how I've expected. Something tells me this isn't going to go exactly to plan. Whether that be intentionally right now or later. Okay, that's just a straight up hired assassin. I keep hitting Shift R instead of R to do bow shock. Okay, I really gotta learn not to click on them, but click on their damage or health card. Easy. So much for the assassins. Granted, there's not what are they gonna do against the Warrior of Light of all people. They probably weren't going into this job expecting that. A pretty poor attempt at an ambush. Without the element of surprise, they're nothing. Yes, very impressive, but I'll save my thanks until we reach Limsa, if you don't mind. I bring bad news, I'm afraid. Those men weren't here to ambush you. They were only lookouts. The bulk of the enemy force lies ahead. We'll take the prisoner to a safe hiding place until those rogues have been dealt with. What? Why was I informed sooner? We only just received the information ourselves. I'm to take the prisoner into custody, while you are to return to your post until further notice. As for the hirelings, their services are no longer required. Now hold on a moment. Okay, yeah, this is 100% fishy. This is definitely not... You are definitely not a Yellow Jacket. You are 100% not a Yellow Jacket. There's no way. Look, if you've got a problem, take it up with Commodore Reiner. They're his orders, not mine. Alright, you've made your point. Well, that's that, I suppose. Nevertheless, I'll see that you receive the full amount as agreed. It was a pleasure working with you. I don't buy it. Something about this doesn't add up. Surely it would make more sense for Futag to go with them. Besides, our agreement was to see Gold Whites to Limsa Lominsa, and that's exactly what I intend to do. You two, come with me. Good. I'm glad you're catching on to the same thing. Looks like the shoe's on the other foot this time, so I can hardly refuse. Come on, before he does something we'll regret. I mean, this could be normal. I doubt it, but it could be. This is 100% suspicious, and Futag definitely should have inquired further. Granted, that's negligence on his part, not really our fault, but we'll make sure the job gets finished regardless. Yeah, they dragged him to a cave. Yeah, totally. This is normal. She took him inside. My guess is correct. There's no time to waste. Nothing for it but to follow him, I suppose. Stop this at once. I knew it. Stay out of it, Sellsword. My friend's dead because of this. Oh, you're not actually an assassin hired by one of the evil organizations. You just want revenge. I mean, that's fair. My friend's dead because of this filth. He's got no right to live, so why should you protect him? Because I gave my word. Though he may be beyond redemption, he acts not for his own sake, but for the good of others. His testimony will make Limsa Lominsa a safer place. Now, lower your axe. Thank the 12 you got here when you did. It didn't take us long for us to find out it was all a ruse, but by then she'd already bought enough time to carry out her plan. Luckily for us, the three of you weren't so easily duped. Of course, she's not the only Yellow Jacket to bear a grudge against Gold Whites. And I never thought any of us would go to such lengths. A fine bloody mess this is. While we may have been waylaid somewhat, our orders are to escort Gold White still stands. Before we go, I want to thank y'all for what you've done. Truth is, I ain't got long to live. Even if I can escape having me head chopped off, the sickness will get me sure enough. You could have lived out your days as one of the leading figures in the underworld, rich and powerful. What made you turn yourself in? Since before I can remember, I've been cheating and killing to put food in me belly and gill in me pocket. And I was good at it, too. Worked me way to the top. But the top of what? A bunch of liars, swindlers, and murderers. And when I found out I only have a few moons left, I realized Limps is the way it is because of people like me. It ain't gotta be that way, though. Not if I say my piece. In that case, we'd best get you to Limsa post-haste. Aye, before I kick the bucket, lead the way. You know, your acts are beyond redemption, but I can appreciate a noble act, even if it's, even at the end. It doesn't redeem you, but hey, at least you're doing some good. Not the most direct route, but we got here in the end. All that remains is for Goldwhites to give us testimony. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, I offer my thanks. You've kept your word. Now it's my turn. Fare you well. I wouldn't be too sure that it's all over. I mean, we literally stopped like the threat that could have brought Limsa into the sea one point doing the rogue quest. Every city has its problems. This one more than most. It's high time we moved on. Seeing as we've been to Mhigo, Gridania, Ul'dah, and Limsa, that just leaves Ishgard. Oh, this is Sophie. I don't exactly thrive in cold climates, though. Just get yourself a decent overcoat and you'll be fine. Well then, let's be off. Alright. I hope there's not another quest, because if there's another quest, I'm not going to get nearly as much MSQ done tonight as I thought I would. You know, that backlight really did wonders for, you know, cutting not only back on some of the green screen static, but, you know, to actually illuminate me a little better. I'm just now looking over at it and seeing how effective that is. I'll admit, it's a fair bit colder than I was expecting. Not that it's anything to be concerned about. That's easy for you to say. You'll be used to it, I'm sure. Anyway, it seems that instead of offering work via Adventurers Guild, Ishgard's Temple Knights issue leaves. Although there do not appear to be any clients in need of protection, it's only a matter of time before something comes our way. Until then, be sure not to let your skills or your gunblade grow rusty. Okay, we've got one more. Oh. I lost out on a lot of context. When they came to carry him away, he was frozen solid like a statue. The poor thing can't have been more than 20 summers old. We asked the Temple Knights if there was something we could do, and we were told that they had the perfect assignment for us. Our client this time is Reese of Garland Ironworks. Their founder, Sid Garland, is one of the few Garleans to have turned his back on the Empire and is a hero to many living under their rule. I wonder if I might have the honor of meeting him in person. At any rate, we must first head to Skysteel Manufactory. You know, if you want to meet Sid, I could get you an introduction. Me and him are pretty, no, me and him, you know, we go way back. Let's see. Yeah, it's this. No, it's up here. I think. I don't remember. I don't remember how to get in there, if it was the lower path or upper. I think it's up here. Yeah, it's this building. Oh, outside. Not inside. You know, it would probably help if I actually looked at the damn quest marker. Good evening. I take it you're the bodyguard sent by the Temple Knights? There's someone I'd like you to protect. A recently defected Garlean engineer, as it happens. I'll not bore you with the details, but he is to oversee the installation of a cerulean heating system. We were hoping it would avert tragedies like the one that recently occurred in the Broom. Yes, we saw the body being carried away. Terrible sight it was. If this engineer friend of yours needs safe passage here, we'd be glad to help. Unfortunately, the Empire does not take kindly to desertion, especially when the man in question is one of its most highly esteemed scientists. We've received word that a group known as Aloud, or however the fuck you pronounce that, has been dispatched to see that he never reaches Ishgard. Gods be good. I've heard of them. Prisoners offered an opportunity to reduce their sentences through loyal service to Garlemald. By all accounts, they fight like men possessed, desperate to earn their freedom. Worst of all, they're led by Vitus Quo Masella, a man whose cruelty knows no bounds. As a soldier, he reached the rank of pilot but was relegated after butchering a village of innocent civilians, purely to sate his own bloodlust. Even his fellow Garleans were disgusted by these barbaric acts. Yet that did not to damage his reputation as a skilled warrior equal to Gaius van Belsar himself. During my imprisonment, Vitus Quo Masella came to enlist me. I told him I'd sooner rot in jail than serve under a rabid dog like him. As you can imagine, he was far from pleased with my refusal and tried to persuade me by using my Magitech collar to administer countless electric shocks. I'll never forget the look in his eyes as he pushed that button over and over. Of course, not everyone is as resilient as Radovan. Many who fight for the Alude do so against their will, though they are no less deadly for it. By the Fury! If I had known the dangers involved, I would have called the whole thing off. It's too late now, though. The airship is already on its way to Korthus. It should be arriving at the Observatorium. Sadly, we couldn't gain permission to have an Imperial craft dock in the city for matters of security. From the rendezvous point, we'll proceed the rest of the way on foot. Once we're safely inside the Gates of Judgment, we can consider the mission a success. Your friend is risking his life for the sake of others. Reese, I give my word that he will reach Ishgard safely. Listen, Sophie. You know as well as I do that the Alude are as ruthless as they are tenacious. For that reason, I want you to stay behind. You think you can take them on without me there to heal you? Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have you by my side, but against foes like that, she and I will struggle to protect you and the engineer. Protect me? Look, Radovan, we protect each other, remember? Or perhaps you see me as nothing but a burden? Fine, have it your way. Not to rush you or anything, but we should get going. I'll meet you at the airship landing on top of the tower. Before we leave, there's something I'd like to make clear. I didn't mean what I said to Sophie. I think she's an excellent conjurer and more than capable of taking care of herself. But this Vitus Quo Masala we're dealing with, a monster who delights in toying with his prey, I can't let her face that kind of danger. You see, Sophie and I have been inseparable ever since we escaped our Garlean captors. When I discovered what had befallen my family, I came close to taking my own life. And I might have even gone through with it if she hadn't stopped me. She's lost loved ones too, but has never given up hope. Sophie helped me realize that there's still a place in this world for me. In fact, it was her idea that I become a bodyguard. Although there's no one will ever replace the family I lost, she helped me fill in that void in my life and gave me a reason to carry on. If she were here now, she would tell me to stop being such a sentimental old fool, or words to that effect. Anyway, the sooner we finish this assignment, the sooner I can get back here and apologize to her. Dragonet. Oh my god, we're 45. We're already halfway through and I haven't even started an MSQ quest. Fuck! God damn it. Alright. Up we go. Greetings! How's it going tonight? Or not really tonight, I guess, this morning. Now that you're here, allow me to introduce the man you'll be escorting. Kato Nan Mamula, at your service. Or should that be Kato Mamula, now that I'm in Ishgard? Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Well then, shall we begin? Well, he's obviously got a pass with Radovan. Probably not a pleasant pass, given Radovan's reaction. The Alodue knew we were coming. Hell's bells, they must have seen that airship from a malms away. I'll stay with the engineer. You go on ahead and draw them out. We'll rendezvous at the camp to the north. Wonderful. I'm sure this'll go great. One down. Okay, 2 this time. Probably should have just waited the extra 2 seconds and done Gnashing Fang combo, but that's fine. I'll just save the charge for the 3rd fight. I figured there'd be 4. Gnashing Fang was a little overkill, but that's okay. Down here. Something tells me that this didn't go exactly correct. Heart of Stone more? Honestly, I just unlocked it. I haven't even read the ability yet. I'll read it the moment we get out of this cutscene. I need to learn how to play this class effectively, because since you recommended not doing Dark Knight, I decided that, you know, Gunbreaker's my second most played tank. Might as well just, you know, learn how to effectively play Gunbreaker and do that for Shadowbringers. A lot of buttons to learn. Well, not really to learn new stuff. That's true. You are. You have mentioned that. True. Work has been, they've been making me close like every single time they have me working, and that's going to be this case for at least another month. After that, I told them to cut it down a little bit. We're just incredibly understaffed at the moment, so I can only, so they've only can schedule me for closes at the moment. They told me by hopefully July that I'll start having more afternoons and less closings. So, my fingers are crossed that hopefully we're back to actual regularly scheduled times starting then. Just gotta get there. Some of the Alaude stayed in the hiding places until you passed. One of them got to Reese. He's hurt, but it could have been a lot worse. I'm sorry. They caught me by surprise. We made it this far, but Fidus is still out there. If this is just a taste of what the Alaude have in store for us, our best option is to avoid confrontation altogether. Mamula and I will sneak past them while you and Reese stay behind. The two of us stand a better chance than a group of 4. You've got a point. Tactically, that's pretty sound, although it is risky. I would just say, let's try to stick together, but I'll leave that up to you, Radovan. You're kind of in charge. I know how you feel, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You can see the sense in this, don't you? We'll meet back in Ishgard. My colleagues will contact me via LinkPro once Master Mamula has arrived in Ishgard. In the meantime, we should lie low. We don't want to alert the Alaude to our presence any more than we already have. Oh, and I'd better get these wounds looked at. I don't feel right about this. Thank goodness you're all right. You'd been gone so long, I came looking for you. I met a few nasty characters on the way here, but I soon sent them packing. Wait, where's Radovan? And that engineer you're supposed to be escorting? Kato nan Mamula? If the two of them are together, then... Radovan never talks to anyone about it, but he comes from a place called Boza Citadel. It was utterly destroyed in a Garlean experiment gone wrong. In charge of the project were Midas nan Garland and his right-hand man, Kato nan Mamula. Radovan's opposition to Boza being used as a testing ground for potentially dangerous magitech led to his imprisonment, and his fears were proved correct when the city was obliterated. There's a strong chance that he's planning to exact his revenge. We have to stop him. They headed west towards Ishgard, yes? We should be able to follow their tracks. There's no time to lose. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, after the last time, he talked down that Yellow Jacket from murdering that prisoner. Like, you know, for the betterment of, you know, I'm sure he can not be a hypocrite, maybe? Okay, I'm no longer certain. I should go make sure. Heart of Stone with Rampart or Camo? Oh. So, oh yeah. Reduces damage taken by a party member or self by 15%. So it's a 15% mit for 7 seconds. Oh, and if you put it on an ally, it grants the brutal shell shield to them. Okay. And it's got... Oh, it's a low... It's got a low cooldown for a mit. Holy shit. Fucking 25 seconds, I see what you mean. I might actually move all my other mitts over and put that on C1. I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's actually kind of crazy, the fact that that is really helpful. Now I just need to remember to use it. I mean, he's not dead. That does sound insane. Holy shit. Rodovan, man, we were literally in this situation like 20 minutes ago. Oh, it was your family. The city that was he did the experiment on was the where your family was. Oh, now I understand why you're so pissed. Bozsha. Yeah, what, did you expect me not to figure things out eventually? Stay back. This fiend robbed me of everything I held dear. Don't deny me my vengeance. You swore to protect him. Like, don't do this now. Especially after the last quest. I will not beg your forgiveness. However, I ask that you hear my final words. Midas and I knew there were risks involved with the experiment, but we did not foresee that it could fail so catastrophically. I have lived with unending, agonizing guilt ever since. From that day forth, I have sought redemption and somehow a chance to somehow right the wrongs I have committed. That is why I asked Midas' son, Sid, to aid in my defection from Garlemald, that my knowledge and expertise may be put to good use. But I always knew the sins of my past would return to haunt me. I submit myself to your judgment. Yeah, come on, we are literally just in the same position as the last job you did, Radovan. Like, don't be a hypocrite, alright? What have I become? My honor as a gunbreaker, as a man, I've thrown it all away. You are the last of us now. Damn. Hey, Vitus, I'm assuming. You want us to kill him now, sir? No. The old goat can wait. It's the prowling lion I want. Yes, your head will make a fine trophy. Is Mamula alright? And where's Radovan? Wandered off, but we've still got a job to do. And I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't stopped him. Come on, with or without Radovan, we still have a job to do. Let's get Mamula to Ishgard. Okay, at least with this guy, unlike Geitzwald or whatever he was called, I've already forgotten his name. At least this guy, you know, didn't intend to do horrible things. It just happened as a consequence of his actions, unintentionally. And he wants to rectify that mistake. He's trying to do better. I don't think this guy's unredeemable. The guy who murdered and fucking cheated his whole life and, you know, in his dying breath wanted to do some good. Like, not redemption, but, you know, he at least, you know, it's making up for it. This guy's redeemable. I shall not squander the second chance at life. You have my eternal gratitude. I noticed that Radovan acted rather strangely when he first met Master Mamula, but I had no idea he'd try to kill him. Thank goodness for you and Sophie. After the trouble you had reaching Camp Dragonhead, I'm pleasantly surprised that Elude kept us away from us for the remainder of the journey. Yes, fortunate indeed. All's well that ends well, as the saying goes. But one thing still troubles me, though. If that Vitus Quomacella is as ruthless as you say, I doubt the walls of Ishgard will deter him from pursuing his targets. As such, Master Mamula will be closely guarded until we can be certain it's safe. Yes, it would be a shame if I were kept from fulfilling my obligations. I hope the next time we meet I shall have glad tidings to share. We managed to get Mamula here unharmed, but in doing so we've lost sight of Radovan. Could be anywhere by now. But we've been through too much for me to turn my back on him now. If he decides to get his act together, he knows where to find me. But until then, we'd better be on the lookout for Elude. I doubt we see the last of them. Alright, finally. Fuck. I meant to do more MSQ than fucking 30 minutes of it. I didn't realize these quests would take so long. I only thought I had 2, not 3. Shit. It's fine, it's fine. I'm sure we can hammer out a couple quests. It's the one disadvantage to only being able to get on so late, is I don't have a lot of time to stream. It's the one downside. I would love to stream on the weekends, but I'm so fucking busy all the time. Where's Rogue? Where's Ninja? There it is. I was expecting only 2 quests, so I was thinking I would be able to get, you know, hammer through a couple of these, a couple more quests than we're going to be able to. But I got to be off at 2:30 regardless. Maybe if we're on a roll, I can push going to bed a little later. It seems my auto mod still hasn't fixed the bot problem. Well, that's good. I'm not trying to rush or anything, but, you know, I'm still at the very beginning of post-Stormblood. We still have an Alliance raid set to do. We still have the raid series to do. We've got a lot. More weapon coffers and music. It seems Whiskar has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next step with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gates at Ala Mhigo Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. Alright. Entrance to Ala Mhigo Quarter. I'm not gonna spend the 100 gil. I'll just drive there. As much as it pains me to waste time driving there. I'm trying to save up gil a little bit. And I recently had to spend a whole bunch to get more glamour prisms. And yes, obviously, since I'm riding there and not flying there, I still haven't taken the time to go and get all of the Aether currents yet. Okay, noted. In fact, give me 1 second. I'll break this enemy off, and I will actually do this. You'll hear a sound. I'm just going to take a screenshot of that so I can remember that for later. I like doing all of the main, like, I know they're optional content and not required, but since having to do them with A Realm Reborn, it just kind of makes sense. Like, and it makes me, you know, do some content I would normally, I think it's cooler to do it on on stream than on my own time. Especially because fucking, especially the Raid series quest from, Heaven's Ward, the Omega quest, not Omega quest, Omega, I'm pretty sure, is the quest we're going into with this expansion. The Alexander quest is what I meant. I really enjoyed the Alexander quest line. Oh, Omega is Stormblood. Or, yes, yeah, Stormblood, which is the expansion we're in. I still don't have all of the shortcuts and little things down yet. Apologies for the... wait, he's spoken. Fuck, I'm not paying enough attention.
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason. Thus far. I'm
not sure what you want me to do about it. I barely talk.
But it is no concern of yours.
I'm glad you're aware of that. There's not much I can do.
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light.
Oh?
I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Yep.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Holy shit. Damn. Okay, that's good to know.
How would you punish these men?
I'll have to think about it, because I would like to do them, but especially if my work schedule doesn't improve, I might have to do them off stream, or just because, you know, for, you know, not taking 2 more years just to finish, like, the remaining expansions. if I decide to do them on my own time, I will probably at least bare minimum record them and upload them to the VODs channel on YouTube and put them in the playlist at the very minimum. Fuck, you're asking me what they should do? I mean, they literally... They orchestrated the slaughter of a bunch of innocent resistance fighters. But... Huh. Normally... Why is the game making me make moral choices? Oh, God. The game is having me weigh in on capital punishment? The fuck, game? I'm not in a mentally sound... I'm way too fucking tired to think too deeply into this. I mean, my first assumption would be, you know, it's better to let them rot for their crimes and not let them have an easy way out. But if we let them rot in a cell, they at least get to hear of what their horrible, horrible actions fucking led to. But again, I don't think we should just go around executing people that... I don't think executing people that, even if they are horrible, execution isn't the answer.
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine.
I don't know if I'd call it mercy. Rotting in a cell for like 50 years is not what I'd call mercy, but yeah, I get your point.
In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
You don't have to go that far. It's just my stupid,
that
dumb
concludes
opinion.
our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Okay. I will also screenshot that and keep that in mind as well. What I'll do is I should be able... I'm hoping... I luckily have a few days off next week. I might... Actually, now that I think about it, I have Friday off, so I might be able to squeeze it into next week's 14 stream. Assuming I don't get caught up again and I'm too fucking tired after work to fucking stream again. But I might be able to squeeze that in next week. Since I have Friday off, I might be able to go a little longer. If I don't do it on stream, I'll definitely record it, though. I gotta get into the habit of doing that just for other games. Like, I did a bunch of... When I was playing Final Fantasy 16, I did a bunch of side questing off stream, and I really should have recorded it and put it up. It's just a habit I need to get into.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did.
Now you wouldn't blame yourself for it, Ravan. I think he would have done it regardless. He probably would have brought up the plan to you. You would have said it was crazy, and then probably he would have done it anyway. I mean, we already know that what the Crystal Braves and that whole group were willing to do to get their goals anyway. They were literally willing to murder one of their own just to hide the conspiracy they were planning.
Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
I don't think things would have ended up too much different than they already are, Ravan. I wouldn't worry about it.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Mhigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Well, that's your decision, huh?
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
Now that would be something. Raubon is a scion wandering mercenary? That would be something.
But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Nothing wrong with that.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Of course. If it's what you want, then that's it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Follow what you think is the right thing to do, Raubon. It may not be what people want, but if it's deep down what you think is the thing you should do, then it's all the better for it. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Arenvald, what's news? We may have a problem, sir. Oh fuck, I forgot what voice I used for Arenvald. A group of the Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Kalyana, the ones that summon the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We'd best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. You've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you by my side. I don't know if I'm really the best person to take. I did kill their god the last time I saw them. Not really the greatest first impression, but, alright. I'm not gonna refuse. Why not? Yeah, we'll go till 2:30. It's a little longer than I initially planned, but an extra half an hour isn't going to kill me. It's not like I need to be in bed exactly at 2 a.m. anyway. I just need enough time to let myself wind down, but an extra half an hour is not going to kill me. Plus, I've got to finish this glass of whiskey anyway. Like, I can't just not finish good whiskey. Ignore that I'm coming up from behind you. It's fine. I should be coming through this way. Gods, it's good to see you. The Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who claim Girabania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Anata. That is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be all returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, But you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I don't know why I do the accent for the Ananta. I don't know. It comes naturally, I guess. I don't know. Is that weird? Oh, God. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Well, that went better than I expected. Why do I have the feeling we welcomed a viper into our midst? Oh, that's how we end the quest, huh? Did you really need to move the 10 feet? I mean, I guess you were technically here in the last cutscene, but, like, you were right there. Ooh. Detachable arm optional? Oh, that's fucking rude. This Kalyana's elders' intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you? I hate to say it, but Tempered and Enthralled generally can't, like, you know, they're generally literally like some sort of mental manipulation control. I wouldn't entirely trust them. Like, it's not that I don't want to trust them, it's just strategically I wouldn't. I would be weary. Aye. It is said that once a creature has fallen under the sway of a primal, there is no salvation, and I strongly doubt the Kalyana have suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan Quarter. You can go ahead if you like. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. Oh, fuck. It's all the way over there. Alright. I really should have probably just spent 100 gil and fast traveled. I mean, it's 100. I do have 1.7 million. I probably. Although, I do spend a lot traveling normally, so I guess maybe 100 would make a difference. No, I should stick to my guns and not do that. It now occurs to me that I am heading in the wrong direction, and I need to actually go to the door. You know, it would be nice if I actually paid attention to the map for once. Let me in. I have a meeting to attend. Also, I should probably use this item coffer. You know, it's just occurring to me that my inventory is reaching full again. I need to figure out what to do with these minions. I guess I could try to sell them on the market board. Also, I've got silver pieces that need spending. I've got a lot to do. I've brought reinforcements. Arenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I'm not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Alice's report suggested that they shunned contact with the other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to the other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould seem wise to have both eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside, then. Do you know the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Alright. Alright, let's see if I can follow the damn map for once. We go over here. And through here. You're with the Scions. General Eldon left orders you were to be escorted inside. If you'll follow me.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lys Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern.
It's pronounced Kikern? Okay. I think that's the first time they've said that the name out loud.
You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Mhigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne.
Yeah, it
There's
does
no
kind
one to
of
sit on it.
sit
No
in the
viceroy,
middle of the room.
No king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there?
That's not a question
Then
these
let's
people
sit
can
here
answer.
in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
That's actually a good opening. Good job, Lys. Okay, I see you. When you said sit as equals, you meant literally. Wow.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game and positioned them to consider a joint government.
I kind of got that, Alphino, but thank you for explaining it to me again.
All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
I would agree. Honestly, I'm surprised to see the two Ananta tribes not at each other's throats.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
You good? Everything fine?
Yananta, wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote
Yeah, I
themselves
kind of figured this would be the case. Yeah, sorry, but we can't permit
You
that.
shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
What the fuck? You don't have enough crystals to summon a primal here, do you? What? Alright. You're a problem. Well, I've killed you once, I'll do it again.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Agreed. Let's take this out. Sorry, but, I was not expecting this. Wow, we've really learned to avoid tempering and can literally just create barriers to avoid that, huh?
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned!
That explains how the crystals got in.
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
Alright, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Elise, you got a plan? Alright. Wow, okay. Impressive.
Yeah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Holy shit, are we really just going to fight Lakshmi again? Use the action duty to deflect to dissipate the Aether Spears Lakshmi releases during the battle. Oh, fuck. Holy fuck, I am legit fucking fighting Lakshmi again. Oh god, I am fucking this up horribly. I haven't played Ninja in too long. Arenvald, thanks for the backup.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
Oh, there's an ether there. I'll take the damage. Okay, this is less of a fight, more like a minigame. What? I let one to go through, apparently. Shit. If we're not lowering the difficulty, I'm better than that. I must have just missed one. Alright. We'll zoom way the fuck out. Okay, this is as far as I can go. Enough playing around. I think it's a health thing. I think it's based on how much health they have.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
Fuck, okay. I was expecting that to come out, but alright, that's fine. Alright, instead we'll stand here. Or, I don't want to do that. Oh, yeah, because it's leading, yeah. I've just got to trust Arenvald to get the other half. Or at least a third of them. Holy fuck, that is a lot.
I shall free you from your hate!
I'm losing track of my mouse. All of the bright lights. Okay.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Lise, you better have a decent plan. Oh, okay. That's actually a good plan, because not only does that, not only is her power kind of weird and fantastical, But that also means that she's less that she helped us. She's less likely to be, like, widely hated. That's actually a good plan.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Okay. Okay. This is a weird turn of events. I'm not gonna refuse the help, but alright. Don't come towards me, Fortola. Jeez. Fortola doesn't know how the mechanics work. Or I guess they're scripted to go to either side. Shield, block some of it. C3, Q, E, R. Oh. Okay, okay. Raban, please. You can't block tempering like we can, I don't think. You both don't have the echo, so... Alright, if you insist. And this is a... I don't know if this... Okay, active time maneuver. Okay, thank God. Oh. Whew. You know, I appreciate the change up in the gameplay. I appreciate mixing things up a bit.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
I'm going to assume that none of them are going to stand in the middle like I am. I think that is the, like, second time I've gotten use out of that fucking teleport dash. like, in an actual dungeon. Like, obviously for movement it's useful, but, like, for an actual fight. I am not doing a lot of damage here. Yeah, I'm really trying here.
Here it comes.
I'm literally not doing what. The fuck happened there? I'm assuming Lise did something big given her dialogue, but I don't know what happened. That's really weird that we just got a Primal rematch in the actual MSQ. First time for everything, I guess.
We did it! We beat her!
Until she's resummoned. What are we echoing with Fordola now?
What is this?
A sword.
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Mhigo. Your choice.
Well, we know what she decided.
Seven hells. It's her, the butcher.
Oh. Yeah, you're weird magic echo, yeah. It's gonna force you to experience all that despair that you inflicted on these people. Not really a pleasant experience, I'm sure.
Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You, I will never forgive.
Yeah, I didn't figure you would.
But I will thank you.
I was waiting for that. Whether or not you forgive her actions, she still saved you in the moment.
For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Honestly, I'm glad we got to that tonight. I'm glad I stayed up a little bit later to do that, because that was pretty cool. Well fought. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Yeah, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass. We were caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Ishtola. We appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. It was a smart move. Risky, but smart. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfried was right. Their victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now, but we have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people who let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. "'Tis a long and arduous path that you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination." Thank you, Elfinow. The first step will be getting our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We were all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. You and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it.
Fine spot to contemplate the heavens.
Yeah.
The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people.
Fantastic.
is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
You could always come and visit, you know. It's not like you're leaving forever. Animo, what are you doing here?
Forget something?
Not exactly.
Your Grace, there was no word.
Rabun Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
Whoa, okay. Oh my god.
But, Your Grace.
Rabon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Mhigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer
That's
deserving of
not
your
the point,
confidence?
Rabon.
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Rabon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Mhigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Well, that was a nice little cap off. I didn't want to say anything because I thought that moment was pretty nice. I just wanted to let it play out. Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured
Thanks for shielding us
he
from
was at
Lakshmi,
least
you two.
that
If
that
you
was a
hadn't been there,
phenomenal
the rest of
moment.
us would be worshipping her by now.
A serious character development going on. That's been long awaited.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work.
I really gotta buy like a
could
stream
keep
deck or
track of the
something
battle,
so I can
let
like
alone
enable
land
and
the telling
disable my camera during certain for scenes like that. So I'm not like here as an idiot on the side of the screen here like ooh or oh you know. I'd let the moments play.
No shame in admitting it.
It is kind of funny. I won't disagree with that. I just feel like with some emotional stuff like that, seeing my dumbass face over here, isn't normal. The most. Well, I guess any live stream with live commentary isn't exactly what I'd call immersive, but you know, there are simply some moments.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and
I guess that's true. I guess that is fair.
I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Oh my god.
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Beatrice, Alphino, 'twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Rauban. He has an important announcement to make.
I'm sure he definitely does. Very important announcement.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
I mean, it's quite a large sword for somebody of your size here. It's literally as tall as you are.
It would seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Very clever, Pippin.
Yes, the bull of Mhigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Clearly.
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Rauban.
That's a good cap. Now I'm really glad I had to let this play out tonight.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
Yeah, you know, business as usual. I'm just in everybody's, you know, I know everything that goes
Either you're
on.
more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
I'm just very well informed.
In any event, one thing is certain. Mhigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
I guess, we're not quite done with this quest yet. I think it's about time I headed back to Rhalgr's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alice will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? Ooh, I get to access the rooftop gardens. I've asked enough of you. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Ul'dah, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured they will find Zona's edge just as sharp in my hands. It seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. Well, you know. I kind of figured you were holding something back, but I wasn't going to refuse you if that was your decision. Alright, let's finish up this quest, because I've gone a tad later than I wanted to, but that's alright. Gotta do it every once in a while if I actually want to make progress. Get up on the table. Well, here we are again. Elfino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. Honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our echo-blessed companions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You could say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to wait and watch. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and the M-tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Ala Mhigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Rhalgr's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role when everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under new government, I'll be nominating Raban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed. He is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Ala Mhigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Mhigo blooms. That was a long quest. But, as much as it pains me to say, I need to get off of that. So, if the loading screen would ever end, I could do my outro, or I could start it now. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching, if you still are. I'll be back today, later today. Oh, God, we have a cutscene. Fuck. Well, there goes my outro. Now it's all fucked. Fuck, I even have to talk? I do give thanks to the kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But there their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. Yep. Fuck. These tango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads. I sundered my blade to secure what few coins we have. Bah. 'Tis like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden, I shall never know. But I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Come, Suyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. So she lost her memory, or is she just, you know, the new lease in life? I have a feeling it's not gonna be that, that convenient. Oh, fuck, more cutscenes. Fuck. Well, hopefully we won't go past 3. If you read the reports, first Doma, then Mhigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly for taking his head of regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable. That our own officers would be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonders the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official, and above all, accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains, then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. But I'm pretty sure we killed Xenos. I mean, maybe they're doing the exact same thing with the whole misinformation thing. You know, keep the troops, you know, keep the peace with the troops. You know, don't terrify them that such a... Oh, thank fuck. Alright, enough of what I was saying. Who fucking cares? Thanks everybody so much for watching. If you still are, I'll be back later today with the boys for more Pathfinder Stolen Fate, Session 6. I'll also be back next week for more of this, and I think what I've decided on since we finished up Final Fantasy 16 is I want to play the Raito Kusunoha remake on stream. That's my next major plan for stream. I know I said Xenoblade 2, but we'll get to that. I don't think Raito's going to take us very long, hopefully. and the game I have planned in the interim, which is relatively short, so it should keep us tided over until Raito Remake comes out, and then Raito Remake will take a couple weeks, and then we'll start Xenoblade 2, and that I will leave that next game as a little bit of a secret. Obviously, the people who are in the Discord and can see the schedules will see it when it goes live on Sunday or Monday. The game will be there, but for the rest of you, look forward to a little bit of a secret, secret what game we'll be playing in the meantime. Regardless, if you enjoyed and want to catch more streams, the easiest way to do so is to hit the buttons on your respective platforms, whether that be follow on Twitch or the subscribe, like, and bell on YouTube. Join the Discord for schedules and notifications for when I go live. You know the deal. It's late. I need to go to bed because I've worked. I hope everybody enjoyed. Have a good night. You know the deal. Bye-bye.